All right, good evening, Who That Nation. This is the host CB, and welcome to another episode of the WDN Chatline podcast. Tonight we will be doing a Saints versus Buccaneers face-off part two. But before I get started, I want to introduce my teammate, WD. What's up with you, fam?
Oh, I'm doing great, and tonight I feel like it's going to be a good one,
Yes,
great one
sir.
actually.
Glad to have you on, fam. And tonight we have a Buccaneers fan. We should be getting another representative from their fan base in a little bit. But tonight we have with us right now. He goes by Ren. Ren, you can give the people a little introduction about yourself.
Hi everyone, hello Saints Nation. My actual name is not Rendax, but that's what I go by. I've been podcasting. We're a fan Buck-centric podcast. We've been doing it for 5 years. We have over 500,000 downloads, over 400 episodes in our pocket, and we've been doing it so long we actually get credentials for training camp. So we are the non-media, fringe media go-to place for Buccaneers news.
Okay. Okay. Nice to have you on. I will say this, man. It's gonna be good to have, somebody on that hosts a podcast because that's basically, giving away that you know a little X's and O's. So it's good, this go around we have that. And once again, we should be getting another representative in, at some point. Okay, but for the listeners, for the new listeners, how the show is gonna go, we basically just I'm gonna get started, with a topic. He's gonna tell us how he think his Buccaneers gonna beat us, and then we're going to, flip it back. So that's basically how the show is gonna go today. So we can go ahead and get started. But before that, you sent out a tweet. You sent out a tweet. You do a few jabs, and then you said, and a guy wears a crown. I have my crown tonight.
Good.
And
I would have been very disappointed if that did not make an appearance.
yeah, was it an issue with the crown? What?
No, I like the crown. I'm just promoting, just like fighters touring before the big match, just trying to drive people to the pod. No, I like the crown. I think it's cool. I'll tell you, there's two fan bases that I like the most in the NFL. One's the Green Bay Packers, and the other ones are Saints fans. Those people that I run into are good people. They're level-headed. They don't, they don't yell and scream and like every player on their team's the best player and every player on the other team stinks. Like they're knowledgeable fans and they understand the game. So, yeah, again, I was just drumming up some little interest in the pod to get some people in here so we can, talk Bucs Saints. Big matchup coming up.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I got the crown on my head because, I think, a lot of Bucks fans just get it twisted. I know this is a new season, but we're also the, defending NFC champs, and until somebody can come snatch the crown, off of my head, then, I'm gonna continue to wear this. So, once again, far as the temperature of it, it's whatever, whatever temperature, we want to, leave it at. Well, I'm fine with that. So we can get started. What's your takeaways from the game one matchup? Game one matchup. Our offense, basically our offense had a poor performance in my opinion, especially in the passing game. We were still able to, put up nearly 40 points on y'all. So what went wrong with that?
Well, it's what goes wrong every time you lose to the Saints. Alvin Kamara. With the Todd Bowles defense, the weakness is the flats and swinging the ball out to Kamara and your playmakers. Michael Thomas will probably be back this week. Out there, and you get Kamara in space, and he will break angles on tackles, and then if he doesn't, he'll break down the defender and then make them dive or lunge, and then he'll just shed the tackle. He's the guy you have to stop. The problem is, like I said, on Todd Bowles' defense, the weakness is in the flats where you have to make you're taking away Levante David and Devin White's, going forward speed and making them run sidelines to sidelines where they're good, but not nearly as good as going forward, and making the corners come up and make a tackle if they can, and if the wide receiver gets a block or the offensive lineman go out there and pull around, and they'll be able to get like White or David, trying to sift through the trash there, then you're looking at a big play. And, Buccaneer fans have seen it week after week after week. As far as, the rest of the offense, of course, we didn't look great. Pick six didn't help. And yeah, I think I really believe the continuity of Sean Payton and Drew Brees and having the core there with no preseason was a big advantage for the Saints. And also, and this is not anyone's fault but the Buccaneers, but when they play in front of no fans, they have a very, very hard time bringing the juice. They've had 3 poor games where there was no fans and the defense didn't show up at all or till later. One was the Saints game, one was the Chicago game, and one was the Giants game.
Okay, so you saying that. So what gives you any hope for this matchup coming up?
A little more.
If you guys were having problems, in the flats, and with Kamara, he's only gotten better, as time went. So I mean, how you feeling on this matchup coming up?
I feel better because I think the Buccaneers offense has more continuity. They've played longer together. Again, I know every team didn't have a preseason, but you had a head coach and an offense and an offensive coordinator and a quarterback and some receivers that have been together for, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. The Buccaneers were together for 2 months with the head coach, the play caller, and the quarterback. And he was the first time with all of his weapons. So the Bucs are averaging, before last week, I haven't looked at it this week. Before last week, the Bucs were number 1 in points scored, and they were 3rd in points per game. So the offense is doing fine. I think the Saints defense, from a national perspective, you guys would know better than me, but from a national perspective, they've taken a step back from what they were last year. Jenkins is a hot or cold player, from series to series or from play to play. He's bit you guys, but he's also come up with some big plays. That'd be a place to attack him. I don't know about Sheldon Rankins or not, but I guess a plus side for the Saints would be that you guys just eat Donovan Smith's lunch no matter who you line up in front of him. So getting pressure on Brady, which, everyone, old quarterbacks don't like pressure. Well, no quarterbacks like pressure, but, quarterbacks that don't move and go down, to like Drew Brees, like Phillip Rivers, like Tom Brady, that will just go down instead of taking the hit or try to scramble and make a play. A team that has had continuous successful pressure against this offensive line is a big plus for you guys. So looking forward, I guess as a Buccaneers fan, my best looking at it is that I don't know where you guys sit on Drew Brees' arm. I was talking about it last year in the playoff run. Like every time they wanted to throw the ball deep, they bring in Taysom Hill and have him throw it. I don't think Drew can throw the ball 20 yards unless the guy is wide open into broken coverage, and this guy still has to come to a complete stop. Now, do you want to play the game where you move the safeties up and dare Drew Brees to throw it over your head? Because that's a real good way to get beat with, especially with someone like Michael Thomas coming back. So Brees' arm, his ability to throw the ball down the field, he does have the lowest yards per air, attempt in the league, whatever that means, but it is the lowest. But Kamara is the key. Carlton Davis shut down Michael Thomas last time they played him, but, it's always going to be Alvin Kamara. We wrangled him pretty good as far as yardage-wise, but he got 2 touchdowns. And that guy can turn any play into flipping the field or taking it to the house. So the biggest key defensively is Kamara. Offensively, I'm just really, really I want to see what a Buccaneers offense that has been together for 2 months now can do against the Saints defense that some people think is not as good as they were last year, or they thought they were at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Well, we can okay. We can get on the defense. Our defense against y'all's offense. We'll go to that. Far as our secondary, I mean our secondary, our secondary is suspect. I'm not gonna sit here and try to, flex since you on here. Yeah, our secondary is suspect, but what Marshawn does against Mike, he always give him a run, regardless of the
Mm-hmm.
season I think Marshawn has had. Yeah, he can have a better season. He hadn't been playing up to the season I expected, but when he goes up against Mike, he give Mike some runs. So that matchup,
Absolutely.
I'm washing that out. I'm washing that matchup out. Now Chris Godwin, I'm pretty sure he'll probably be more in the slot, depending on how
Mm-hmm.
many snaps AB gets out there.
Right.
Um, that that could, cause some issues. It could cause us some issues. Going against Chauncey. So I can give you that. If the guy plays, and then AB, it depends on how many snaps he gets. Um, he definitely gonna be a problem. So yeah, our secondary definitely got it coming for us this week in the passing game beyond Marshawn and Evans. I don't think Mike Evans about to, be a huge factor for y'all. I think it's gonna be, well,
No, and
hopefully
I agree with you
go ahead.
100%. Lattimore is one of those guys that gets in Mike's head and has shut him down way more times than Mike has gotten the better of Lattimore. The bright side for a Bucs fan is Mike Evans has not been featured in this offense at all. Week 2 against the Panthers, that was it. Like, he's got a lot of touchdowns. He's got like 6, maybe 7, but he gets like one. Like, the past 2 games, I think he has a total of 4 targets. So, the Bucs offense is used to being able to put points up and move the ball down the field and convert drives without Mike Evans being, part of this offense. Again, Chris Godwin broke his finger. Not sure if he's going to play. And AB is a complete wild card. I think that's the most exciting matchup for me. I'm also very interested, offensively for the Saints. I'm very interested to see how Sean Payton, changes up his game plan and decides to attack this heavy blitzing Todd Bowles defense. Because as much praise as Levante David and Devin White get, the inside linebackers for the Bucs, like, they are way better going forward than they are side to side or backwards. And if Payton has figured that out, it can be a long day for the Buccaneers defense. Not necessarily like a lot of big plays, but with a quarterback like Drew Brees, it'll be easy for him to drive the ball down the field 7, 9, 12 yards at a time. And you kind of saw a little bit with the Giants Monday night.
All right, WD, you got anything?
Yeah, for the most part, to me, it's the lines. It's the lines, the offensive line and the defensive line. I feel like that's where we excel at. I feel like that's where we win the matchup. But one guy that I do got to mention that's on the Bucs defensive side is Jamel Dean. I feel like Breeze can take advantage of that matchup. Especially if we put somebody like Deontay Harris or maybe Marcus Callaway in the slot. And I feel like that could definitely play a key part because I know he was getting beat on double moves. I know you talk about Breeze deep ball, which is for the most part that's been a concern.
Non-existent.
But, yeah. Well, I mean, you got me though, but
It's
for the most part,
it's been non-existent for beyond this year.
Yeah,
and we
I
still
know.
been successful against y'all. So
I'm not arguing the point. I'm just saying that a key to this game is Drew Brees can't throw the ball past 20 yards.
Nah, that ain't the key to the game. I mean,
one of the keys to the
his
game.
His arm been, the 20
I
yard.
agree with you. And every time we play the Saints, as long as he's the quarterback, that's going to be part of the talking points of the game. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm not saying that.
No.
What?
It hasn't been working.
I understand that. But still, we're talking about the game. I'm not sitting here like, just because it's a point of the game and you still win doesn't mean it's not something to worry about or look at. Like
I'm saying you said that like that's a key to the game. No, I mean, if you hadn't been stopping the noodle arm, I mean, it ain't been no key to a game. So you got to find something else to take away.
Okay, but I'll let WD finish. I got plenty of stuff.
Well, I don't know what William Golston's status is.
Sure.
I feel like he could be a huge issue for us just because, Breeze, he don't, for the most part, he don't like interior pressure. But I mean, I feel like he had some good plays in the first game when we tried to run it up the middle with Latavius Murray. But you know, yeah, and JPP. I forgot about Sue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I like our mashup. You know, there, like I said earlier. Jared Cook. I think Jared Cook can have a day. You know, you see that Breeze. You know, for the most part, he can't pass. He can't throw the ball past 20 yards. But I beg to differ with Jared Cook. I feel like he can do that.
Jared Cook has been kryptonite for the Buccaneers since he's been there. It was before Todd Bowles got here, defending any tight end that was worth their grain of salt has been a huge problem for the Buccaneers. And then when Todd Bowles got here, the Bucs have sort of eliminated, those tier 2, tier 3 tight ends. But the tier 1 guys, like Cook, consistently show up against the Buccaneers and have big games. And I'm with you. Now, about Jamel Dean, that might have been his second worst game I've ever seen him play Monday night. And his first worst game was his first start ever, where he got thrown in right before kickoff against Seattle last year. And both times, and the only 2 times, he wore a red long sleeve undershirt. So I have tweeted at him and told him he's no longer allowed to do that. So we'll see how that goes. Jamel Dean is excellent in zone, not good in man. Carlton Davis on the other side, tier one in man, not as good in zone. Now in the slot, it's going to be SMB, who started off really rough last year, then did really well, started off this year really well, and now seems a little lost in the slot. People are talking about moving the rookie safety Anton Winfield down in slot because he did in the Denver game when SMB, pulled a groin, and bringing in last year's 3rd-round pick Mike Edwards to play free safety while Jordan Whitehead plays box safety and tries to cut off, set the edge for those outside Kamara runs. That's what people are talking about. Will Golston, he's been a guy, he might be the longest tenured Buck right now. Has always been overshadowed by somebody else in that defensive line, but we all got that player on our team that's been there for a while, that's sort of the unsung hero that always makes 1 or 2 plays a game, and you secretly, he's your favorite player. You're never going to buy his jersey, you're not going to necessarily ride or die with the guy, but you're really glad he's on the team. And as far as Golston coming out of COVID protocol, we don't know. He never tested positive. He just was around somebody who had, so he self-isolated himself. And I guess the other biggest thing when you talk about the interiors, the Bucs, front 7 has always had a problem with the Saints offensive line. The Bucs offensive line has always had a problem with the Saints front 7, for sure. It is frustrating as a Buccaneers fan to watch this offensive line and defensive line dominate. Some weeks be good, some weeks, but never really get dominated, and then watch it like twice a year against the Saints. It's very, very frustrating. And our guard, Ali Marpet, which I'm sure, everyone talked, when you watch the game, at one point you have to talk about Ali Marpet, a very good guard. We think he's, Pro Bowl material, possible All-Pro, but it's real hard to get in the Pro Bowl, once the offensive linemen have to retire, or, once they get in there, they stay in there. But he's in concussion protocol. And then, so there may be somebody new next to Donovan Smith. And here's a little inside information. Allie's the one who tells Donovan Smith the calls, because for some reason, 5-6 years in the league, he still doesn't he'll hear the call, and sometimes he'll just go Allie, and Allie will go take the end, and they know what they're talking about. Now with Allie not there, it could be an even bigger day for Jordan and for who's that guy? Hendrickson.
Yeah,
and Davenport.
And Davenport, you can add Davenport because he didn't even play the first game.
Has he been worth your 2 first-round picks?
When he's on the field, when he's on the field.
Yeah, when he's on the field.
Okay.
But the problem is he just can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, we got that problem with OJ Howard and Vita Vea.
Yeah.
But I mean, far as your defensive line, it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hell for them. Come Sunday, because y'all Vita Vea, he out for the season, ain't he?
Yeah, he's
So
done.
you got
Yeah.
him, and then you got Golston. That's up in the air. So, um, that's a huge piece. That's huge. Two pieces gone right there. So, we're gonna be able to run through the middle. Sue really not. We really hadn't had no issues with Sue. So that's just gonna open up our run game.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what y'all been doing, with everybody else. It's always different with us. So that just give us, more room in the run game. And then the pass game, Carlton Davis, yes, he's had a good season. We had another guy on last show. He was talking about Carlton Davis. He predicted him having a good year, and yeah, he's been having a good season. But, far as him shutting down Mike, I'm not even going to say he shut Mike down. I believe that was just more on Breeze. It was more on Breeze that game. But as far as, Carlton Davis.
Is that because Michael Thomas ran past 20 yards?
No, that's that Carlton Davis. That don't put your hopes on him against Mike. That
Okay.
matchup is fun.
Okay. I mean, Carlton
Breeze
Davis has proved it week in and week out since the last 4 games of last year against the best receivers in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to shut down Michael Thomas because that's just stupid. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that Carlton Davis has no chance. It could go either way. I'm saying that if Carlton Davis shadows Michael Thomas, it'll be one of his rougher days during the season this year. And who knows who wins.
I do want to add, though, because Emmanuel Sanders, he did play week 1.
Yeah.
He did score a touchdown, but for the most part, he didn't, he wasn't used to the offense. He didn't even know what spot he was supposed to line up in.
Right.
He's coming out of not concussion. I was about to say concussion protocol. No, he's off the COVID list.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the other cornerback that y'all have, I just wonder, like, let's say Emmanuel Sanders, he actually starts doing well. I just wonder if y'all are bold enough to move Carlton Davis off of Mike Thomas on him, because that first game, I'm just saying that first game, I remember there was a few plays I've seen Carlton Davis on Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, he doesn't follow the number 1 receiver 100% of the time. Todd Bowles mixes it up. So, the good thing about Jamel Dean, and again, if you're basing what you know about Jamel Dean off of what you saw Monday night, that's not the story. But if I watched that and I was another fan, I was a Saints fan, and I'm like, oh, we're going to torch this guy. Jamel Dean got scholarships to 2 blue chip programs. He got a scholarship to Ohio State, blew his knee out twice, then got a scholarship to Auburn, blew his knee out and broke his hand. And for some reason, he stayed healthy in the NFL. So, his draft stock was a little lower than what it could have been. And he's a 4.3 guy, and he's a big dude. And, for a corner, he looks more like a running back. He's not long and lanky. He's stocky and built. So, I feel good about the defensive matchups with Winfield back there, how he's played as a rookie, Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, and SMB. I feel good about those matchups. Now, could they have a bad game, and and Drew Brees throws the ball over the yard and it's a blowout? Absolutely. It could happen. But I think this is one of the tougher defenses the Saints are going to face this year, going the rest of the way. Now, as far as the interior defensive line of the Buccaneers, without Vita Vea, hey Gene.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Without Vita Vea and now possibly without Golston, there is going to be no interior pass rush whatsoever. There isn't. I'm not convinced that the Saints can be able to run the ball between the tackles, even though the Giants did it. But again, that's the first time the Bucs have given up 100 yards in 22 games, and 20 of it came from their quarterback, Danny Dimes. So I can understand looking at the Giants game and saying, hey, the middle of the defense is open for Kamara on the run game. I'm not really sure that's true right now. If that's the game plan you're going to go in with, it might be a little tough sledding. So what Todd Bowles is going to have to do, and Tom Brady does this, and Phillip Rivers and these older quarterbacks, if you bring pressure third down and passing situations, they're going to have to bring it with Lavonte David and Devin White is what they're going to have to do to get pressure up the middle. Drew Brees is going to take the hot route or dump it short of the sticks and live and hope these guys make a play and live for another down, and the Bucs are going to have to come up and make the tackle. And that's the best way to slow down this Saints offense.
Okay. Before we go further, we got another Bucks representative in. You mind just giving a little name and your name and what
All right.
podcast you host?
All right. Yeah. My name is Gene. I'm with Buck What You Heard, and I'm on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, Ren, you got a real good guy here with Ren. He knows what he's talking about, and this is going to be a really good game. I'm sorry I just kind of joined you guys a little bit late, but the one person that concerns me is Taysom Hill, and I don't care
really
what team the Saints face. It's like you just don't know what to do for him. So he's one of those guys. He's like an X factor there. He's an offensive weapon that Sean Payton uses very well.
Okay, Rand, you said really what's the issue with Taysom?
I don't
what's
have
the issue?
I don't have an issue with Taysom Hill. I just don't see him as a player you have to game plan around. Like if you're going down, like these are the people I can't have beat me when I play the Saints. Taysom Hill's like 7, 8, 9. He just doesn't get the ball enough. Yeah, he's a great weapon to have. He can return. He can play. He can play the up blocker. And punts and be able to, take the snap and pick up first downs. He can throw, he can pass, he can catch. I get it. He's a Swiss Army knife. But when they design plays for him, at least what I've seen this year, which isn't everything, what I've seen this year, 8 out of 10 times, it doesn't really work. Like they put him in to hike the ball and he tries to go around the edge and, he gets stopped for loss of 2 a lot more times than he gets 8. And, and I'm not even going to get into about him being the number 2 quarterback. I think he's only thrown like 15 passes in his whole NFL career. So, but he can be a problem. But again, there's other guys that I'm worried about stopping and game planning for before Taysom Hill, goes up on the whiteboard.
Okay, well, with 35, I'm gonna call you 35. 35. How you feeling about your how you feeling about your secondary going up against our receivers? Rand, he was saying Carlton Davis, shut down, could shut down Mike, but at the same time he said, y'all don't have Carlton Davis traveling.
Right.
Y'all don't have him traveling with the number 1. So y'all kind of using him like a Richard Sherman, Josh Norman type guy that don't travel with the number 1. So is he really like that, or is he getting a lot of matchups against some average cats? Is he really that good, or?
From what I've seen from him, he's been rock solid. I think they've done well against wide receivers this year. Again, the way that Todd Bowles schemed everything out, it just kind of just worked out the way to where. He was able to cover. They were able to cover Michael Thomas. I'm kind of leaning towards what Ren's saying here about Carlton Davis. I like him. Antoine Winfield Jr. is another guy that I really like. That you didn't see him last year, and just what he's done these last few games. He's not playing like a rookie. I'll put it that way. So when I look at this secondary, I'm very comfortable with this secondary going up against the Saints. I think both teams match up very well against each other.
Okay. WD, you got anything to add?
No, for the most part, I pretty much said what I got to say. Honestly, I could see us kind of struggling, running the ball not so much because of the D line, but the linebackers. The linebackers, I got to give respect to Lavonte David and Devin White. For years, I knew Lavonte David, he was good, but I think Devin White, he kind of adds to, a lot. He adds a lot to your defense. I think that was pretty much the reason. He was pretty much the reason why Kamara could not, we couldn't get a lot of tosses off, versus y'all. But for the most part, I mean, the linebackers, yeah, they got my respect. Winfield, that's a I think that's definitely a good. He definitely is going to be a good one in the long run. But for the most part, I mean, pretty much what you said, 35. I think these teams, offensively and defensively, they match up well with each other. I just think the Lions, I think the Lions are going to play a huge part in this game, just much like the first game, and that's why I think we have the advantage there.
And I wanted to ask you guys: was Sheldon Rankins out that first game of the season? I wasn't sure if he was. I thought he was out the first game of the season.
No, he wasn't. I think he played, but for the most part,
he wasn't 100% though, was he?
No, he wasn't. Yeah, for the most part, we was rotating a lot of guys. We had Roach, and I'm not sure we had Shy Tuttle out there, but we definitely saw. We definitely had a lot of rotation within the interior.
Okay, 35. I want to ask you. Is Drew Brees on your game plan? I mean, I'm talking about far as his arm. As a defense, do you see y'all game planning for him far as moving everybody up and moving your safeties up, specifically moving them up a little bit more, daring him to go over the top?
Drew Brees is a first ballot Hall of Famer, man, and just what he does mentally with the game makes him different. It makes him a little bit different quarterback than some of the other ones. I still believe that he can get the ball down the field if they can get these plays off, get the ball out real quick, just keep that pace up. I think they can. But again, if the Bucs defense can get to Drew Brees and rattle him and hit him, I'm not even sure that he's 100%. You gotta, how comfortable is he with the offensive line? Are they 100% healthy? Are they able to keep him standing upright? That's, those are things that I'm not sure about. But, I'm very comfortable with this defensive line. I think that, they can get pressure. And, Todd Bowles, he can manufacture blitzes and get pressure on the quarterback at times. I will say, shout out to Jason Garrett. I thought he game planned very well for this Bucs defense. And the way and what you saw from that defense was he used their speed against them, and they were able to make plays, and they were able to get the ball out quickly. So, again, it's going to be. I guess what I want to say is it's going to be once they face him and see what he's doing. I think they'll make adjustments accordingly.
Okay. Well, let's see. What makes y'all think y'all are going to win Sunday night? I mean, I see y'all, talking about the matchup, but what makes you think, y'all are going to be successful Sunday night on either side?
Well, offensively, what you saw from Tom Brady that first game, there was no cohesion, there was no chemistry whatsoever. With COVID, and I'm not making that as an excuse, but you could tell there were certain routes that Mike Evans and Tom Brady were not on the same page. But as we've seen, how Tom Brady's continuously getting comfortable with these wide receivers and tight ends and even his running backs. You've got these guys that are all coming together, and I just think they're a lot farther ahead now than where they were then. And I think they can take advantage of mismatches as well.
Yeah, it all really depends on if Godwin plays or not. Because we talked about earlier how Lattimore basically nullifies Mike Evans. It's true. It hurts as a Bucs fan to say it, but it's absolutely true. Well, now you've got Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown. Who covers that?
Don't talk about enough receivers. I mean, what more do y'all need?
I know. Hey, I apologize. Look, I have never I'm sorry the NFL Network, ESPN, and Fox Sports told everyone in the whole entire world the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl before we even played a game. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I didn't say it. Okay? We have the worst losing percentage of any NFL franchise in the history. It's not even 350. It's 340. We deserve a little good things are allowed to happen here. We deserve it. But what I'm saying is, if you take out Lattimore and Evans and put it on the side, then who covers AB and Godwin, and that's where Tom Brady can look. Also, who covers Scotty Miller? Tyler Johnson, the few chances he's gotten has looked really good. He doesn't get a lot of shots, and then if I feel that if they give Ronald Jones 18 to 22, 23 touches a game, that he will get 100 yards more times than he won't. Now, right now, Leonard Fournette is the third down back and the 2-minute back, so it's eating into his touches. And when Ronald Jones drops a screen pass, he gets sit for the rest of the half. Last week, he had a fumble. He got sat for the rest of the half. So he's not really getting his touches. So that's what I would look at. Like, when the Bucs finally have a quarterback like you have in Drew Brees, where you can go into every game and go, we have a very good chance to win. Like, our chances of winning is more than our chances of losing every week, no matter who we play. And that's why this is such a great game. Like, this is for first place in the South, man. It's 2 first ballot Hall of Fame Titans going at it Sunday night in Tampa.
And if I can jump, piggyback off what he's saying, if we go back to last year and we go back to there was 4 games left last year, you lose Mike Evans, you lose Chris Godwin, you lose Scotty Miller, and you don't have your number one wide receiver is Rashad Perryman.
Mm-hmm.
And
who we all wanted to cut.
Yeah, and I wanted to launch his ass into the sun. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I mean to cuss, but
no, you good. You free. Yeah. You free.
No, but it was just when you think about that, and I don't have a problem with them getting wide receivers in, because we've seen, as Bucs fans, we've struggled through this not having wide receivers. We've struggled through having wide receivers go down with injuries, and then you're stuck with a bare minimum. Because if you look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, there is such a steep drop-off in to the third wide receiver as far as talent goes. So getting an Antonio Brown was a big deal, and I think it kind of alleviates some of that. When you look at the team as a whole. Consider Chris Godwin has been in and out of the lineup all year with injuries, so he hasn't consistently been in there to help the team. So yeah, this definitely helps everything out. Getting somebody like that in here.
So you don't think Scotty Miller has been stepping up? I think this guy
he's been injured. He's been injured. He hasn't been. He just hasn't been 100% with the groin injury that he's working his way through. There have been drop-offs from his play, and it's not by any fault of his own, but it's just he's not been fully 100% this year.
Scotty Miller is sort of our Taysom Hill, and not that he can do everything, but he's an X factor that can sort of change the game when you're you're not going to build your offense around Scotty Miller. You're not going to drive the ball down the field throwing Scotty Miller. You do a 9-play drive and 5 times Scotty Miller touches the ball. That's not what's going to happen. It's when you take your shots and Scotty Miller gets one-on-one, either in the slot or the outside, Brady's going to look that way and throw it. And that's what Scotty Miller is and does. He might get across, a crossing route or a slant here and there, like 10 top possibly the entire season. But Scotty Miller is there to test the speed of your outside guys. And if he gets even with them, Brady's throwing it.
Okay, so that was offensively. So your defense basically, like I said, y'all just added AB, but my view on that, it's gonna be more than AB yet. Do AB make y'all a powerhouse at the receiver position? Absolutely. I mean, as far as a wide receiving core, that's the best in the league when everybody go. But you gotta play defense. And history has shown even this year, I know COVID and stuff like that, but a lot of y'all's guys over there has had time together, in their defense as well. Y'all tend to struggle a little bit against ID. I mean, y'all had the number 1 running defense, but we're able to break through that. And with Ghostin up in the air, I'm not sure if he gonna play. Y'all running a 3-4, so y'all gonna have to bring more pressure than expected, in my opinion. If he's not out there, y'all done lost Vita Vea. Like I said, Sue, he's not he's not a problem like that to where, you know, we stand up at night game planning on him. You know, so that's gonna bring a little bit more pressure than expected. So I think we can be more successful even when we want to throw some dump passes and screen to Kamara. I think we can be more successful with that because y'all gonna have to find, you know, other ways to bring pressure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, I said a little bit earlier in the show, the best way to, you know, stop or stall or keep this, you know, Saints offense right when you join, Gene, from scoring is get him in third in obvious passing situations, which is really hard because Kamara is the best at breaking angles and not necessarily breaking tackles, but shedding tackles.
Yeah.
You know, he won't make guys miss, but if you got your hands on him, you still only got about a 20% chance of bringing him down. So if we go back to the Giants game with, you know, we've referenced a lot this with Daniel Jones, the Giants were able to keep in front of the sticks because it seemed like it was 2nd and 5 almost every time they had the ball. And as Buck fans, we haven't seen that in like 22, 23 games. You know, we've gone through Kamara 3 times, and we've gone through McCaffrey 3 times, and we've gone through Ezekiel Elliott, and we've gone through Henry, and we've gone through Carson, and we've like named the back, like, you know, we've gone through them all, and no one did what was it, like Gollum and the beat up Giants offensive line did to us Monday night. It was a complete shock, but we got away with the win. So slowing down this defense is going to be making Drew Brees check down. Period. End of story. Don't let Kamara, like, do your best on Kamara. He's going to make people miss. He's going to, like, get a dump pass on 3rd and 8, and he's going to make 3 people miss and get 12, and you're going to be like, oh, my God, Carlton Davis, make a tackle. You're the worst. Like, that, it's going to happen. But if you can keep that from happening as many times as possible and then make Brees check down in front of the sticks and come up and make the tackles, that's the best way for this defense to nullify or try to nullify or do their best at nullifying Drew Brees in the Sean Payton offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean Payton is, you know, he's a wizard when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, getting those 3 and outs, getting Drew Brees off the field is going to be key in, you know, helping the Bucs win this game. In my opinion, just getting those 3 and out because they make the most of their opportunities. They will go for it on 4th down and be 4th and 5, and the Saints will go for it. So just being able to execute on every play, that's what's going to be very, very important, you know, taking care of your assignments. Hey, I meant to ask you guys, is Quan Alexander going to start on Sunday?
No, and it's probably
yet.
It's probably due to COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to get in the building in time.
Yeah, but far as you know, far as y'all linebackers, if y'all got to send pressure like that to force Brees to dump it off, I think, like I said, we got Mike back, and like I said, that game 1, far as the receivers getting off and stuff, that was on Brees. Brees was very inaccurate with the ball and stuff like that. Don't take that game and run with it with our receivers. This game is going to be very much, you know, more accurate and stuff. He just, I guess, had to get some rust off. But if y'all sending them linebackers, we're just gonna throw a little quick route, and we got the master at that, you know, that can get open on those quick routes. So, you know, I think if y'all do that, you know, we're still gonna be able to, you know, be successful somewhat. And like I said, y'all's defense has been stopping, you know, other teams, especially in the ground game, you know. And then at the secondary, Corn Davis has been having a good season. I'm not sure, you know, all the matchups he's been going against. I'm pretty sure he's been up against the number ones, you know, this year. But if you're keeping them in the same spot, he's been going up against, you know, some average guys as well. But that matchup with him and Mike, if we throwing Mike in the slot and stuff, you know, and you're not traveling with him, you know, that's gonna give him up to, you know, one of your slot guys or bring one of your safeties down. I think that's going to be a terrible matchup, you know, on y'all's end. So, like I said, I think the only chance y'all have in this game is, just to score on the offensive side. Because I think our offensive side is going to be successful, regardless of the season. Carlton Davis having, the linebackers get respect, both of them. But if y'all gonna blitz, I don't know how y'all gonna attack that. If y'all try to zone play this, I think like I said, we got two receivers coming back. Y'all played them week one, but once again, Breeze was not on point week one. He's gonna be on point this week. Breeze is good at eating that zone up, so he's gonna be very efficient and effective in eating, that zone coverage up. So I think the only shot y'all have is just to keep scoring the football. I think that's the only shot y'all have. Y'all have to go at our secondary. That's the only shot y'all have at beating us. I think we can contain the run game good. As far as the pass game, I think our rushers can get to Brady. Davenport, he's back. When Davenport is on the field, he's looking even better now. When he's on the field, he has proven that he can be a great player. Ever since he's been on that field, he's been a force. So he's going to be there. We get pressure on Brady, have him shaking up a little bit, and I think we can be successful on that end. But far as y'all stopping us, it's going to be hard to do. And we got two pieces coming back. And I think this game, y'all gonna really find out, what our two receivers can do. What Mike having a compliment on the outside can do. Because Emmanuel, he wasn't complimented in the offense like that for the first few games. He had to gradually grow in the offense, and it showed.
Yeah, I do want to add Marcus Callaway. He's going to be back as well. So, he looked good versus the Panthers. It didn't look like, just this typical, one, like a trick Quan that, just he shows up one game and then he doesn't show up for a few games. But for the most part, he looks true. So I'm curious to see how, he looks out there. Now, one thing I will say offensively for the Bucks, obviously AB is adding AB is definitely great. My thing is Gronk. Y'all got Gronk instead of OJ Howard from week one. And we have been having problems with the tight ends. So I'm just curious to see how we stop him for the most part. But yeah, that's pretty much my concern on the offensive side. Because I know I feel like Lattimore and Mike Evans, we know how they go, But for the most part, I think Gronk and Scotty Miller is going to be the issues on that side of the ball. I just think this game is going to be a shootout, in my opinion.
It's going to be a really good game, and it's probably just going to come down to execute, because what all of us have said are all possibilities. Like, this game could be 9-12. This game could be 48-45. This game could be 42-14. And whichever one you pick, either team could be on the winning end of either of those three scores. That's what makes it.
No, I'm just saying we're not about to score no low points. We're not.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay.
Because I watched that Bears game, and I watched how the Saints did against the Bears, and again there are things that I don't know if it was sloppy play. If I want to say it was sloppy play at times. But this is a game that the Saints should have won that game, walking away, and it just wasn't like that. And you just got to keep in mind, it's any given Sunday, anything can happen. I mean, you look at that game with the Rams and the Miami Dolphins. Nobody saw that curb stomp coming, and that's just basically what it was. So I get what you guys are saying. I think it's just if whoever executes the best and whoever takes care of the ball, anything's possible. So, there is that.
Yeah, I can see the play calling was definitely questionable last week. That felt like it kept the Bears in the game for the most part.
Because it wasn't the Bears beating the Saints. It was just certain things that just happened, and it ended up the Bears kept hanging around.
Yeah.
But let's be mindful that Mike Thomas was not there. Our number one receiver wasn't there, Mike Thomas. Our number two receiver wasn't there, and Emmanuel Sanders. As far as Marquez Callaway, he's starting to look like our third best receiver. He wasn't there. So we had to call two practice squad guys up, and they was actually running plays in the offense and actually got a catch. So, far as that game, kind of gauging that. I mean, yeah, we could have won the game by more, but for us to go up there and win, with what we had at receiver, I believe we done a good job with that. But yeah, it was some calls and stuff that we could have did better. But let's just be mindful. We had three pieces that was involved. Well, specifically Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. They wasn't there. Now I know against the Giants, y'all had. I seen Mike out there. I seen Mike Evans out there. I know Chris Godwin wasn't out there, but y'all had Mike Evans out there. We didn't have no number one receiver, no star receiver. We had two practice squads. Two practice squad guys got called a catch in the game. So I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, that when you look at the way that game was game planned for the Giants, you got a 1-win team. They're going all out. They want to win that game, and so they got more skin in the game to win it than to go out there and just lay down. So again, it's any given Sunday, and like I said, I feel comfortable with this game, and I can't see the Bucs winning this game. I can see either team winning, but I can't see the Bucs winning this game.
Okay. Now, if you can see, like I said, I know I just asked. I'm saying if you can see them winning this game, why? I mean, what makes you see that?
I can see the Bucs getting pressure on Drew Brees. Drew Brees does not do well when he gets hit a lot, and we've faced each other. Both teams have faced each other enough throughout the years to see that the majority of the time he comes out pretty clean in our, I'd say, last 5-6 years history. But just there are times where when the Bucs are able to get to him, he's not the same as he normally is.
So you think your pass rush is gonna which way you think it'll be? You think it'll be just by blitzing or sending JP?
I think it's gonna be a mix, and it's who gets off the ball first, and how do they what are they scheming at the time? Because there will be times where you don't see any blitzes, and then all of a sudden it just starts. It just kind of depends on how Todd Bowles calls his game. But like I said, I think that there will be opportunities to get to Drew Brees and make plays. And like I said, if you can get him rattled, then you have a better chance of winning.
The reason why I asked that is I'm just asking: do you think you need to pressure just by blitzing?
No. I'm hoping that there's other ways of doing this. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to blitz every day because if those guys don't get home, you got your D-backs on. You got your secondary on islands and stuff, and that doesn't always bode well. So yeah, if they do it, they have to get home and they have to make those plays.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that because really we know Brees wasn't really on point week 1, but also, the offensive line was not great week 1. The past few weeks has been the best they've ever played. So that's why I'm just, curious about that.
Right. And, the thing about a Todd Bowles defense, and I really shouldn't say Todd Bowles, it's really about running a 3-4 defense is you line up with 5 and you send 4, and that's not a blitz, right? Well, Todd Bowles likes, if he's going to send Devin White, then he'll drop 2 of those front 5, and it's still not a blitz. You're just bringing 4. You're just not bringing the 4 that normally go. So, when I say blitz and bringing the inside linebackers, it's not necessarily mean they're bringing 5 or more. Let's face it. These are 2 really good teams. It's going to be fun to watch. And if you want my, this is my honest opinion. Whoever does better on first down is going to win this game. Whoever stays in front of the chains more consistently is going to win this game. Both offenses can score on these defenses. Both these defenses have playmakers all on all 3 levels. Both offensive have playmakers along the on the outside, in the backfield. Their offensive lines are very good. Lots of high draft. Like these are both 2 top 5 rosters in the NFL. Like, well, all right, blow the whistle. Let's go.
Agreed.
I want to get to this comment right quick. The comment section. My apologies for not reading the comments. We got 2 guests on, so I was trying to make sure I heard exactly what they were saying. But I see. I'm believing this is a Buck fan right here. He said Saints didn't do anything offensively in week 1. The Bucks turning the ball over 3 times, giving the Saints short field, and a pick six made up a lot of that score. Absolutely. So that means it's going to be even more dangerous coming into this week because, like I said, Emmanuel Sanders, he done start getting a grasp into this offense. He started getting involved, and Drew Brees had a terrible game. That game, and it was more his accuracy. He was inaccurate a lot that game.
Yeah. And,
and he was getting pressure too. He's getting some material pressure.
And one thing I do want to add, in that game, I believe the Saints offense did not turn over the ball. Now, I'm not trying to rule anything out because, you can have one of those games where you do cough up the ball. But at the same time, for the most part, even without the receivers the past few weeks, we have been taking care of the ball. And I know that plays key this game. So,
yeah, but you got to consider this is a division game, man. So it's
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is a division game, and it's a totally different animal.
Yeah, but look, that week 1 game, that's a divisional game. The Panthers game was a divisional game. We did a good job taking care of the ball. And I'm just saying, as long as we do that, I feel like we can win.
Yeah, and I'm with you, and as many times as CB says, and you too, WD, we weren't all there week 1. Well, I started off the pod saying, one of the reasons why we felt like the Buck fans we weren't going to win week 1 is because we hadn't been with these guys. So, if you're saying that the offense has improved from week 1 to now, well, what do you think the Buccaneers offense has with Tom Brady? From a guy it's the same argument. And then and then you're saying we haven't turned the ball over a lot. Well, Tom Brady is like 18 touchdowns and 1 pick since week 3. Like, this is going to be an excellent game. This is you can't look at week 1 and look at that game and extrapolate it to this game and say this is what's going to happen.
I'm not necessarily doing that. I'm just saying, for the most part, the past few weeks, for the most part, we've just been taking care of the ball, not just going back into week 1. Yeah, that's true. And I look at both sides. I understand that y'all have gotten better offensively. The communication is better. I understand all that, And like I said, I think it's going to be a shootout. And I think we will win that turnover battle just as much as we're going to win in the trenches.
Right, and what I was saying, week 1, Breeze didn't have a good game week 1. I mean, and we all saw that. I mean, we know that's not going to be the case this matchup.
He was inaccurate for the most part. He was inaccurate, just like we're, for y'all, lack of camp, the offense could not gel fast enough. Well, Breeze, his arm just wasn't there the few weeks. We thought he was done.
And guys, think if you think about it, the Saints, the core of your team, have been together for years, and so that familiarity is there. So you're like plugging and playing new players in there. I would have expected the team to be further ahead than where they were on week 1, just based on what they've done over going to the playoffs and just having that type of team to come in and face a Tom Brady that hasn't been with his players, and you've got new players on both sides of the ball. So I don't know. I just would have expected more. That's kind of why I say this game here. I can see it going either way. Both teams have improved markedly, and as Ren said, this is just going to be a good game. That's the only reason I came on here, because I love this. This rivalry here is probably one of my favorites in the NFC South. I hate Atlanta, and I hope just that everybody beats Atlanta in the NFC South. It's just like that, but I don't kind of don't feel that way with you guys.
Yeah, but don't take it the wrong way from me. I'm I expect this game to be very competitive. I mean, hell, y'all. I mean, going back into week 1, y'all came right down the field the first drive, and like, damn, okay, let's get it. So I mean, like, let's be real. We know both of these sides. They really want this game. It's the division. It's the game. The division is on the line here. So yeah, I expect y'all to come with fire, just as much as I expect our team to be on the P's and Q's.
Right. Yeah, I think the division is more on the line for us, because if we lose it, then we'll be a game back, and you have a game in hand with the tiebreaker. If you lose to us, yes, we'll have one more win, but it's a lot easier. One game is a lot easier mountain to climb. When the first tiebreaker is even. So if the Bucs lose this game, the division is not out of reach. It just would be a lot easier, for us to win this game, and sort of basically just kind of pull even with you guys.
And that's one thing that I will say about this, on both sides at that. I feel like no matter what happens in this game, that's not the end of each story. Each team obviously they gotta keep winning. They gotta keep winning more than the other team. So what I'm saying is, if whoever loses this game, I don't think it's the end of the road. There's still ways to go.
Oh no!
Yeah, because I know you guys got some teams like the Rams. We got some. I mean, hell, we know what our divisional rivals can do. Especially the Falcons. They could still, what they we know what they do. They'll kind of throw an egg at us, or just mess the whole year up or something like that. Slow you down. But I mean, for the most part, I do believe that while this game is huge, whoever loses is not the end of the road. As the other team, they got to stay on track.
Yeah, like I'm win or lose this game, I'm 80% positive we're going to play a third game somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely see that.
I mean, with an extra team getting in, and and this is our toughest stretch as a schedule. These 4 games as Bucks. We have we play the Chiefs, we play you guys.
Yeah,
we got the Panthers, which but they're a division game, and Rule, their head coach, seems to be building every week with those guys. And then we got the Rams, but then after that we've got the Falcons. I'm going to steal that. We got them twice. Who else do we got, Gene? I know it's like a pretty soft last 4 games for sure. So, this is a big 4 weeks, this quarter of the season is big for us Buccaneers fans this month, and it all starts Sunday night.
Yeah. Might be one of the I just want to add, this. We know how big this game could be. This game could very well be game of the year.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we could, you never know. You may be looking at the playoffs, and like Ren was saying, you may see them again. So you may see each other again in the playoffs. Yeah. And then you look at this. We got the Vikings, the Lions. The Vikings and the Lions are going to be, the Dalvin Cook coming back and running like he has been. A healthy Dalvin Cook is dangerous.
Right.
But I like our chances against both those teams.
Yeah.
Do you think y'all got the team? Like I said, not getting off subject. I'm just saying, do y'all think y'all got the team to be representatives of the NFL? Which that won't happen. I'm just saying, as far as making a run in the postseason as a wild card. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen this time.
Well, if somehow
let's say it did.
Yeah, if somehow the infallible Saints don't make it, to the Super Bowl as the NFC champs, then yes, my second pick would be the Buccaneers. I just think we're the most complete team. Our defense is top rated in most categories, depending on what stat you go off. Like they're number 1. If you go off yards, which I think is dumb. I think you should go off points. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, but whatever. But But that doesn't make any difference right now. You know, it doesn't matter. But do we have the squad and the coaching staff? Yeah, I think we do. I think we have the players, the right attitude, and the coaching staff. And thankfully, the last quarter of the schedule is really, breaks our way. So, yeah, I think we can do it. And it's the first time I've really felt. This is the first time as a Bucs fan in over a decade. Like we haven't been to the playoffs in over a decade. Like this is your 12. We haven't even had a playoff game, and this is the first time in over a decade where I can go, okay, we're going to the playoffs. Like, lock it in, dead set. Like, don't know what seed we're going to be. I don't know if we're going to win the first playoff game. I sure as shit don't know if we're going to the Super Bowl, but we are going to the playoffs.
So the reason I asked, I mean, like I said, y'all got the Super Bowl at y'all's house, so I know it's going to be an enormous amount of pressure, and really beyond Tom Brady, who do y'all have that just done had that Super Bowl experience? I'm talking about starters.
JPP.
Gronk. Yeah, JPP.
Yeah, JPP,
Gronk. That's probably it. Antonio Brown.
So that's some big.
I know.
But I think you just got to get there and perform.
Yeah,
like you guys didn't. I mean, like when the Saints won it all. I mean, y'all didn't have that many players with that Super Bowl pedigree, but you guys went in there. Y'all were hungry and y'all went in and won. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't buy into that, because if you're going out there, you're locked in, you're focused on what you need to do, you're going to go out there and take care of business.
Yeah, it's not.
Just ask Atlanta about that and how that works out.
Gene hates Atlanta so much.
I hate them. That's like more than Dallas.
Y'all know we hate them. Y'all know. Y'all know we hate them.
Yeah, it's not hockey where you need, it really helps to have some veterans on there that understand with going through 3 best-of-7 series is like to get to the cup. And then you have a best-of-7 series to win the cup, where, you can have guys that show you how to take care of your body and what this is going to be like, let the people haven't been there before. It's really just another game. It's about Jimmys and Joes and the coaches and the scheme, and that's it. And you have the Jimmy Joes, the coach in the scheme. We have the Jimmy and Joes coaches in the scheme. The Seahawks have the Jimmy and Joes, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers, and that's about it.
Okay. How y'all feel? Like I said, I know this ain't really game question, but how y'all feel on Bruce Arians? Because I know at the beginning of the season, I'm talking about as far as how much leeway he has with the team, because going into the season, he was talking like AB. That was a dub. Like, that wasn't happening at all. And then all of a sudden, he's on the team. So I believe Tom Brady has more cliche with that team than Bruce Arians.
I'm gonna if I can step in there a little bit, just kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about last year, when all the receivers for the Bucs were going down with soft tissue injuries. And you got Rashad Perryman and Justin Watson as your number 1 and number 2 receiver, and that's what you got to go with. When you lose a Mike Evans, he's not 100%. Chris Godwin is in and out of the lineup, and then Scotty Miller. At the beginning of the season, no, I can see why you would say no. He's not coming to Tampa, but after all these different injuries, and you can't run your offense like you really want to, then this opportunity comes up and he wants to be here with Tom Brady. You got to take advantage of that. I mean, you got to consider Green Bay was looking at AB. The Seahawks were looking at AB. There are like 5 or 6 teams in the NFL that were looking to try to get AB there. So we do know that, he's still got a lot of juice in the league despite, what he's been going through. So you got to take advantage. If he was available, considering the injuries that they had, of course, that you're going to change your mind if you want to try to win now and get to the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl.
Yeah, my point of view on it is a little more pessimistic. All these guys are professionals, And I don't think that anything that one person says or has more clout, I don't think it matters. I think it's a bunch of guys to get together that wants to win. And when they want to do that, all that other stuff goes out the window, to be honest. Now, is it a good talking point for, the shows on the big networks? Yeah. Would it be a good talking point for, for a podcast in the off season? Sure. But right now, like I don't care. Like, and in the off season, I really don't care either. I don't care how much clout BA has. Like BA is my coach. He has a great staff. That's what I care about. Like if Tom Brady wants to switch the towels from white to red, switch the goddamn towels. If Tom Brady, like whatever he wants to bring his dog to practice, let him bring his dog to practice. It's like, if Gronk anybody wants to bring their dog to practice, bring their dog to practice. Like, I don't care. And I don't really think it's something on the outside looking in that you can put in a plus column or a negative column as far as the Buccaneers organization goes. I just don't think it matters.
Yeah, and I agree with you there completely as far as the media goes. I don't care what the media says. I've had people, they say, well, the media is all on the Bucks jock, and it's like I don't care. I don't care about the Bucks going to try to win the Super Bowl. I want to see the Saints try and win the Super Bowl. That's all I care about. I don't care about.
But that's like
frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's like when they were saying Michael Thomas wanted to leave. They were trying to get rid of Michael Thomas, and ain't nobody around New Orleans that I know. And I deal with a lot of New Orleans media, but none of those guys are talking about that. That's the national media. Those guys, they read a script, and that's the narrative they're trying to push. So I'm going to tell you right now, I don't watch NFL Network for the interviews.
Same.
I don't care about their takes. I don't care about ESPN's takes.
Nope.
Because you know what? They don't genuinely know this team like the people like us that get a little bit more deeper into it than to know these kind of things, because nobody in their right mind is going to say Michael Thomas is trying to get up out of New Orleans, over something that we still, not everybody knows what happened. So again, they just want to try to get those clicks and those ratings, and that's what that's all about.
Yeah, you want to know about the team? Ask the beat writers and ask the fringe media, and us for the fringe media.
That's true. Like I said, it's gonna be a good game, but like I said, the only way y'all can be in this ball game, in my opinion, is
in your opinion, okay, sorry.
the only shot y'all got is slinging that football. If y'all trying to run the ball and utilize your bats, I'm telling you that's not going to do it.
I believe me, I know that running the ball is not going to work, but. Believe me, they're going to try a lot on first down.
On first down.
I'm saying the way our secondary been playing, even Marshawn, but I think Marshawn going to rise to the occasion, with Mike Evans. Because that always been like a tussle back and forth. But with y'all having AB, and I think AB going to get about at least a good 25, 30 snaps, at least.
Yeah.
If y'all not throwing the ball on our secondary, I'm telling you, it's really about that. I think it'll get lopsided.
Yeah, and basically what he's saying is like y'all should attack the secondary. That should be the main priority.
That is our weak link right now. That's the weakest link on this team. I'm talking about very vulnerable. And if y'all
got like Janoris Jenkins. Who y'all got in the secondary? Y'all got Janoris Jenkins, right?
We got Janoris Jenkins. We got Marshawn Lattimore. We got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We got Malcolm Jenkins, Marcus Williams.
Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, that dude, he's a troll. Now look, we might Sean might send him at AB to get in his head or something, man. Because Chauncey, he's been the mouthpiece bandit right now. So yeah. I don't know if y'all knew he did it to you guys week 1. When Benny Foley he got the kick, he caught the kick, man.
Oh, that Keystone Cops pooch kick that.
Yeah. But if you look closely, if you look at it closely, Chauncey he took. I forgot what number it was, what player it was for your team, but He snatched the mouthpiece and he just ran off. So
that's his thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Did he do that to Michael Thomas? Is that what happened?
He probably did. He probably did.
Yeah, he done something to set him off. But
yeah, because I was watching that whole series. I watched that whole series, and I could see where he snatched his mouthpiece, and my dude was mad. He was like steaming, and I think they kept him out for like 7 or 8 plays before he could get back in, and that whole time he was just over there stewing about it, and that's what kind of set everything off.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a rule pretty quickly here.
Keep Talib was snatching chains back in the day too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know.
But remember, what was it? What was the game? Was it? It was a 4 o'clock game where he ran up to the DB and snatched it out of his mouth and punched him twice in the face. The receiver for the Steelers. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, he walked. Who did he run up to? Who were the Steelers playing? The Ravens.
What are you talking about?
It was the rookie wide receiver from the Steelers. Like they ran the ball and the play was over, and there was a guy covering him, and he ran right up to, I think might have been not Humphreys. Damn it! Ran up right to the guy, pulled the mouthpiece out of his mouth, and then punched him twice. Then he got fined like a bunch of money and suspended 2 games. And he said it's because the guy spit on him. But I think
that wasn't what it was. I know what you're talking about. That was against the Bears. That's the game we were talking about. That was against the Bears. Yeah. That was against the Bears.
Saints game? No, it was a Steeler.
That was us. That was the
this
was you guys?
I was confused. I was confused who you was talking about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the Bears game because he just went over and snatched his mouthpiece, and that mouthpiece stayed on the ground for I don't know how long. They didn't never get it up. But yeah. So I'm going to be watching him because he's somebody that's entertaining right there.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's
AB in the slot. Are y'all going to if Godwin is playing, is AB going to be on the outside the majority of his snap? Do y'all think, or y'all? Because if he's on the outside, I don't think Chauncey going. We're not.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how they would really. I'm not sure how that's going to go. To be honest, if Godwin's healthy. I mean, not healthy, but if Godwin's playing, I'm not sure how that's going to go.
Godwin plays about 80 to 85% snaps in the slot when he plays. So that's, I tried to ask BA in the press conference. He wouldn't tell me.
I think we're going to activate DJ Swearinger for this game so he can get, we can kind of get him shaken up a little bit before the snap goes. Because he definitely know who DJ Swearinger is.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
for that hit. Yeah.
So hopefully we playing mind games as well. Get DJ out there.
Yeah, this game can't get here soon enough for me.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. But
I kid you not, guys. This could very well be game of the year. I'm not just saying that. If y'all don't pay attention to the Saints every week, Saints make every game game of the week. They make every game of the week. Game's so close. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, it's two blue chip organizations, with the coaching staff and the roster and their schemes, and two two true Super Bowl contenders, not like, maybe, oh, wow. Like, it's not a team coming out of nowhere. It's these guys were favored at the beginning of the year, and now they're proving it. And this is it. This is Chiefs Ravens, man. This
is better than that.
Yeah. But I'm saying as far as marquee, this is the game of the week, period. End of story. Like, everyone's going to watch this one. This is going to
because we looked at we went down the list, and this is
it. I mean, this is going to reset the power rankings, for every website there is.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So WD, I think I done gave my key to the game. I mean, my key to victory, how I think we're gonna win this game is basically getting pressure. I think our D-line gonna get pressure on Brady. I I think that's what we have to do. We're gonna rough him up. I'm not gonna say rough him up, but I think we're gonna get pressure on him to where he kind of, get get thrown off. I think that's gonna be the key to him. I think our offense gonna step up, and put points on the board. But our defensive line has to apply pressure. We cannot have our DBs running back there all day because that's not going. What the eye test done told me, it's not going to be successful. We have our DBs running back all day. So that's my key to victory. I think the pressure on Brady is going to be the key to our victory and giving us the ball back.
My key would be to win the turnover battle, control the clock, and you got to score. You got to score a touchdown. You can't score a field goal. I do not trust, kicking field goals versus Brady. So I just don't trust it. So that's my key.
Right. And having a good special teams game because we got the threat.
Yeah, our special teams are terrible. If no matter how deep Pinion kicks the kickoffs, just run it out because you'll get it past the 25. It doesn't matter. Our coverage team is terrible.
And Deontay Harris.
Yeah, I mean they're bad. They're embarrassingly bad. They don't even set their wall up till the 25. So there's no resistance until you've already got the line to gain as if you fair caught it. So might as well just run it out. I'm with WD almost right down the line. Instead of winning the turnover battle, don't commit any turnovers. If the Bucks the best way to guarantee a win for the Buccaneers is don't turn the ball over. And then what I said, about 20, 30 minutes ago is win first down. Defensive line, both defensive lines are going to get sacks. Both run games are going to have some negative plays. There's going to be plays where guys miss tackles and pick up first downs where they weren't supposed to. There's going to be some shots over the top that both teams gives up. We're looking at two of the great masters. It's Michelangelo, versus Da Vinci here. And so limit your mistakes. Win first down, no turnovers. And I think that's the best recipe that I think for a Bucs fan to look forward to try to win this game.
Yeah. For me, it's getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, you guys have said it ad nauseum here, but getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be huge. And you guys know as well as I do, if Drew Brees gets hit enough, he does get rattled, and that can affect his game. So that's kind of where I'm hoping that the Bucs can get in there. Your offensive line has been solid for most of the season, even with players shuffling players in and out. But again, that's what I would say one of the keys is seeing if you can get to Drew Brees and hope for some turnovers, because I think that's going to be another thing that you guys mentioned as well, is winning that turnover battle. Just the run. Hopefully the Bucs can run the ball and get those first downs. And like you guys said, getting 7, not 3. Both teams should be looking at it the same way. I mean, that's basically what this is. I mean, no lead is safe with either one of these quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I said if y'all can get some good interior pressure, I believe we're gonna be in trouble in the pass game, because really outside pressure Breeze is good enough to
he
move
just steps
past
up to the pocket. Been doing it for 2 decades.
Yeah, that interior pressure, that is where Breeze has a lot of trouble, because of his height and so and really that's game 1. That's what y'all did. That kind of threw him off. Pete, he was getting his ass kicked, but he's been playing better for us. The past 2 games he's been solid. So I'm counting on him to have a better game. Like I said, Ghostin is not a lot to be playing this week, so that could help him out. Along with
another thing, Caesar, he didn't play that game, CV.
Right. So really our guards got a huge matchup, So if they getting their ass kicked Sunday, Breeze is definitely going, he's going to have, he's going to be in some trouble. Cause that interior pressure, that's, he has a hard time with that, but outside pressure, I mean, our 2 tackles is going to hold that down anyway. You know, but if it was anyway, he's good with, you know.
Yeah, he will step up in the pocket, and he'll step up in the pocket and extend the play. So yeah, again, first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, what else can you say?
Right. So, any final thoughts from you guys? I will say this: this crown I got on my head, until somebody in this division come take it off, you know, I will continue to wear this crown on these fan face-offs.
I like it, man.
And you know you ain't wrong, because can't nobody say nothing to you until it happens.
Right. Yeah, right. And I like it. It's a good gimmick, man.
Yeah, it works, man. It really works.
Final thoughts: Buccaneers 35, Saints 0.
Okay.
Really feel that way?
I just want to see you lose it. You know, my final thoughts are my final thoughts that I've said the past 3 times we've talked about final thoughts. It's going to be a good game. Can't wait.
My final thoughts. I want to thank you guys for having me on. I think the content creator community, you know, we got to stick together. Like I said, you know, when I was talking about the national media, they don't pay any attention to us, but with more of these guys losing their jobs, they're becoming us. They're becoming what we do. They don't do it as good as us, but they're trying to get to where they're doing this now. So for you to be able to have us on, myself and Ren, I mean, you hit the jackpot with Ren. Really, really great content that he puts out. Him and his host. They do a great job. I just lost Brent's name, but yeah. So Brent and Ren, but
met him.
Yeah, he's been over my house. Yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be a good game, and I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yeah, ditto that. Before you guys go, yeah, I'm rarely I'm not a very good guest when it comes to closing, and I apologize, but it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys reaching out. And Gene's absolutely right. Like, you know, I was talking to my girl the other day about how like we don't own the space, obviously, but it kind of makes me mad where these people who are already famous can just come out and put like a podcast, and now they're getting 50,000 downloads. And if you're making $25 an ad hit per 1,000, you know, they're making like, you know, 6, 7, like people like Joe Rogan and Bill Burr, they're making like $40,000 a podcast. And it just sort of infuriates me that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. It's just that they got fired from their job and have, you know, 900,000 Twitter followers. So, you know, to echo what Gene said, yeah, we got to stick together, but this is fun. And I really appreciate you, you guys having me on.
Yeah. Good to have y'all.
Right. And once again, I appreciate y'all for coming on. You know, once again, you know, I'm not familiar with any Bucs fans except maybe 1 or 2, but, you know, that didn't work out well last time, you know, far as, you know, being honest with X's and O's. So it feels real good to have, you know, 2 opposing fans on that know what they're talking about, you know, because that's important, you know, especially, like I said, I know this is a face-off show, you know, we do some jabs and stuff here and there, you know, but at the end of the day, we was able to give the fans, you know, a complete in-depth view of, you know, our opinions on how the game should go and will go, you know, with our opinions. So, you know, appreciate y'all for coming on, man. And hopefully we will have a round 3. You know, if we see each other down the road in the playoffs, y'all 2 will definitely be back on here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Thank you.
Right. And once again, shout out to the people in the comment section. Once again, you know, I know I didn't shout out the comment and read the comments, but we had 2 guests on. But you guys know how we feel about, you know, our viewers that's watching us. We definitely appreciate y'all. And just remember to please like, subscribe, and follow the page. And also, please join us tomorrow night as we have our preview show versus the Buccaneers. Once again, shout out to the rest of the team. It's Pretty Carly, SaintsUptown, Flama, and Payton. And we will see you guys tomorrow night, 8 Central Time, 9 Eastern Time. It's the WDN Chatline podcast, and we out. Who that?
For life.